One of my friends who runs events does a lot of business with hotels. He's always got stories of how hotels handle stuff, and it's insane what they go through. The one that sticks in my head is that some function had some huge event, not sure what for, but their main ceremony hired a stage magician. I'm not sure what they expected, but they got some guy who looked a lot like the Tim Burton version of Willy Wonka. Long hair, a little effeminate, velvet suit, and very awkward. I'm not sure what they asked him to do, but what he did on stage was very odd for a main ceremony. He did a few parlor magic tricks before going into a very long story about how he learned how to hypnotize people to do his bidding from some descendant prodigy of Franz Anton Mesmer himself. He claimed to have learned Sanskrit chanting or something from the wisdom of Himalayan monks, and to show his skill he preferred young ladies in the audience. The people who hired him were immediately alarmed in the direction this was going, but were unable to make the immediate decision to stop whatever it was that he was doing, via the classic bystander effect. Isn't someone going to say something? Is this part of the act? He's running long. Thankfully, it seemed all he wanted to do was standard hypnosis stage tricks, and if you have heard of some generic hypnotist act in TV sitcoms, that's all he did. When I snap my fingers, you think you are a chicken, etc. He was scheduled to do two 15-minute segments, but after his first went into an hour before he gave the stage back, they asked him not to do part 2 because they were now way behind the schedule. But everyone was in a weird mood because a few co-workers had, for a few minutes, pretended they were chickens or whatever. I don't know exactly what he did, I am telling this secondhand, all I know is that he was already on thin ice. The worst part is the part that involved the hotel. The magician assumed, for some reason, that he could hang around and mingle with the rest of the crowd after the main ceremonies. There was more than one event at the hotel happening that night, and one was a prom or costumed cotillion for a young women's private school. A lot of teen girls in costumes and floofy dresses. The magician was seen mingling and flirting with these girls, and the chaperones came to the hotel to have him removed because he was being creepy. The hotel went to the group who had run the other function, but they said, "We're not in charge of him. Yes, we hired him, he did his weird thing and he's not really with us as we're done." Everyone involved had a vibe this guy was super creepy, and the group was okay with the hotel telling him he had to leave. Like this story so far? Stay tuned for part 2 with a wild ending.